It's quiet because I put a splash screen on there, loves. Welcome, babies. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, look, I'm not intending this to be a long one, okay? I'm thinking like 10 minutes, 10 to 15, 10 to 15, 10 to 15. Maybe a longer one this weekend, all right? But, welcome, welcome, loves, welcome. Who are you? Who are you, Catherine? Hey, welcome, Catherine and David, and they live. Welcome. Always good to see you. And, of course, Sir Bob. Of course, Sir Equinox. And, Jazzy. Jazzy is here. And Amber is here. And Jazzy is here as well. Again, I see you, Jazzy. Ashley. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, Tyrone. Oh, of course. Well, they're all here. You know that. They're all... Wait. Oh, I forgot the most important part of this, guys. See, this is why I suck at lives. This is why I suck at lives. But I forgot the most important part of the whole thing. You can't have a ceremony without lighting a candle. No, you can't. No, absolutely not. You cannot have a ceremony. Now, look. You cannot have a ceremony without lighting a candle. No, you cannot. But, well, there it is. So we did light the candle. We did. So let the ceremony begin. Right. The electric church is here, loves. This is what we call the electric church. That's right. It's crude, but it's still electric church. Okay, all right. Hey, we're working on a shoestring here. It's called a shoestring. But, whatever. That's not a point. That is not the point. The point that I want to start with this point first. And then we'll move on to what I had some thoughts about here. Okay, again, this is not going to be a long one. Okay, not going to be a long one. But I had some thoughts, and I'm like, you know what? I want to go live, and I want to talk to the garden, and then just throw them out there, right? Throw them out. Throw these thoughts out there. It's good. It's good to do that. It's good to do that. That again, that's why it's good to have a garden, right? And that's why it's good to interact with the garden, my garden, right? And so what I see on other, no. I just feel reciprocation on some level is important. You have to have reciprocation. Otherwise, you know what you're going to do? You're talking yourself in a mirror is what you're doing. Just like I'm talking to the screen right now, it might as well be a freaking mirror, a mirror. And what is that going to help me with? That's not going to help me with anything at all. Right, guys? Right, guys. So I'm going to start with this. Just hang on 1 second. Hang on, loves. Yeah. Always themes in this case. This case is always thematic. There's multiple themes that run through. And then we drown. Just like that. That's right. Hey, Pete Townsend. Pete Townsend, genius. Anyway, then we're not talking about Pete Townsend right now. But we probably should. Anyway. That is a great question, Sir Equinox. What does she see in the mirror? I wonder. Great question. I wonder, what does she see in the mirror? What do they see in the mirror? I don't know. I don't know what they see. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what their level of what do you call it? Moral responsibility is to themselves. I don't know. It's a great question. That's a great question. I mean, I struggle. Here's the thing. And this is what, I think this is what traps a lot of people. Now, I'm being serious here, right? Of course. Here's what traps a lot of people when they look at this case. And their level of looking at this case is rather surface level, right? When they hear about the roommates, when they hear about Dylan and Bethany, here's what traps them. They understand what age they are, and they understand that they're in college, and they get that, right? That they get that, right? And so, and then they may hear them. I don't know. I don't even really go beyond that, right? I think most people don't even go beyond that, right? They just say, "Oh, well, my God, those two young survivors in the house, how oh my, I can't believe that, and all this, right?" And they don't go beyond that level. See, but if they did, I don't know how much that would actually change their opinion of things. Because people, here's the trap. Here is the trap. And this, when you guys know this. But this is part of all the thoughts that I've been having today. Based on the freaking videos that I've seen here. So, hello, Ellie. Hello, Ellie. Where have you been, Ellie? I've been waiting for you. Oh my God. No. Nobody wants to hear MD right now, all right? MD, I'm sorry. They just don't want to hear you, okay? They do not, all right? Master Nature, you know what? You a fucking prick. You know that you are. Listen to me. Listen. Not right now, Tyrone. Not right now, all right? But they get trapped. They get trapped and, oh my God, they're young and they're in college. And of course they don't have any common sense, right? So they start making all these leaps. They say, well, they're young, they're in college, and of course they don't have any common sense when you're young and in college. But that's what they do. And see, they try to string all these concepts together. And the more they try to string these concepts together, the more it becomes illogical. That's the problem. But they can't get past the trap that they set for themselves. See, yes, they're young. See, here's the thing. Yes, they're young. Yes, they're in college, or they were, right? Whatever. But yes, they're in college. Okay? But you can't say that they have no common sense. You can't say that. Well, you're in college, right? I mean, so you think you'd have a little common sense to get into college at least. I don't know. I think I would. So they make all these leaps in their mind that aren't there. Right. Remember, hey, I'm sorry. Again, not trying to lecture. Okay. Here it is, though. Here it is. There's all these false associations that are made. They're called false associations. That's what we're doing. We're making a lot of false associations. And so when it comes to the roommates, the big focus of this channel has been the roommates. Because again, my feeling, my opinion, they are totally involved in what happened here. And these two people, they're tangible. They're tangible to me. They're tangible. I can see them. I can see them. I can't see Brian Kohlberger as much. That is the problem with Brian Kohlberger with me. I cannot see him as much. You know what I mean, guys? Like, I don't have a good picture of what he is or who he is. It's weird. Maybe if I saw him talking for 10 minutes, maybe I'd get a better picture probably of who he is. But I don't have that. I don't think anybody has that, right? So there's a bias there that I got to be careful of as well, because I don't have as much, footage of him actually interacting with anybody. So again, I have to be careful of my own bias here when I'm looking at this case and this dynamic of the case. I don't. If I saw a video of him talking for 15 minutes or engaging in a conversation with somebody, okay, I can pick up on some things with that. I can. Sure, absolutely. You guys, obviously, anybody could, right? If you're looking for it. You have to be looking for it, though. I mean, if you're just watching and you'd be like, oh, this guy's a weirdo, well, no, you're going to be missing a lot of stuff, But, yeah, anyway. So I have to be careful of that bias. For sure. But the roommates, though, have always been consistent, though. Again, here's another problem with the roommates. There's consistency in the madness, illogic, lies. There's been consistency with them throughout this entire thing. That has not changed. That has not changed one bit. And again, I'm sorry to keep going over the same things over and over again, but it's important because this is what lies at the heart of the case. Not the other stuff does too. Don't get me wrong. It does. It does. It certainly does. Certainly the video footage of the Linda Lane and the other house there and the other house there, things I have not been focused on. But little bits that I've seen, like yesterday and today, it's like it's very obvious to me. It's extremely obvious here, and to you guys too. Extremely obvious that what we're actually seeing is totally upside down. And that is not a good feeling to have. That's not a good place to be in. You know what I mean? Not with this kind of crap. Not with this shit. And so that's why, I don't know, that's why I think I keep going back to certain reference points here. Because the roommates to me are tangible things. Dylan more than Bethany. Dylan has always been more tangible to me. Bethany less so. But here's what I can do with Bethany though. Because she is associated with Dylan. And so I can make a lot of inferences into her and her behavior and what she is. But Dylan is the lead here. Dylan will always be the lead. Dylan, to me, again, this is not a profile, but just watching her behavior in the interviews, the body cam, right? When they supposedly first come upon the scene, which that, again, depends how far you want to go into the mud with this. You can go real deep. But let's just assume that this was the first time the police were coming upon the crime scene, okay? That's highly debatable at this point. I mean, I don't know how much we can trust Moscow police at this point. That's another point here. How much could you actually trust them now? I don't know. I really don't. That's a real gray area. That's a real effing gray area. I mean, how much can you actually trust what you're seeing now? I don't know. But again, we have to keep some sort of sanity though with this. We can't go too far into the mud because we'll lose our minds, really. And then not only that, but we lose our focus though. We lose our focus. And we don't want to lose our focus. Once you lose your focus, then you're going to lose your logic. And then you're going to lose your reasoning skills. And we don't want to do that. I love aliens. Look, you and my garden. Well, now what? Now what did I do? Oh my God. What did I do? I suck at lies. I suck at lies. I'm sorry. I suck at lies. Did I say lies? So here we're going to revisit something. Okay. Oh God. Yeah, it's a short one, Master Nature. Now you're 20 minutes in. No. Hey, that's all right. That's all right. That's all right. All right. All right. All right. Sometimes you have to approach things, well, you guys know this. But, okay. Dylan is always going to be my prime. So, I wouldn't say obsessed. That's not the right word. But I'm extremely focused on her. Extremely focused on her words and her actions and her demeanor, her body language. I'm extremely focused on her. Extremely. With whatever limited focus I have, it's on her. For sure. For sure. Now, I am not in the trap, though. I am not in the trap that this is some little girl that just got caught up into something that had the worst luck that any human being could ever possibly have in their life. I don't subscribe to that at all. Well, not in this scenario, I don't. Not in this scenario, okay? Not when it comes to this thing. I like luck, don't get me wrong. We could talk about luck too, okay? But not with this. Not with this. No. Not with this. You can't. You can't. This is you can't do that with this. Okay, anyway. So, here we're going to revisit something real quick again. I want you to pay attention to her. I want you to pay attention to how she's acting, her body language, her words. And there's some things I still have not caught. I went back to this like the other day, right? And I'm like, I totally missed this piece. It's bizarre. It's bizarre, but here we go.
Kaylee went upstairs and she screamed because someone was in the room and she ran downstairs. And I kept calling her name and she wouldn't answer. And I saw the guy.
She's acting.
And I ran downstairs. We don't know what's going on.
She is fucking acting right there. All right, I'm going to go back. I want to go back. Hang on. There's something here. Pretty much. This bothers me. This bothers me, guys. This bothers me. See, I get mixed up too with these things. I do. See, because in my head, I'm like, wait a minute. Didn't she say that Kaylee and Murphy were upstairs dancing? That's what I thought. But then I have to revisit certain things to remind myself, no, that's not what she said. They were in the main room. Yeah, they were in the main fucking room. They weren't in her room. They weren't in Kaylee's room dancing around. But they're in the main room where everybody can hear and see. Okay? Everybody. Xana is supposed to be there. Ethan is supposed to be there at this time. Right? So I guess all of them are hearing her in the main room dancing around with her dog. I didn't catch that at first because, we miss a lot of things in this. Oh, but somehow, how did that morph? How did that morph into the main room? How did that morph into, I guess, the upstairs? Now, that could be my mistake, and that's quite possible, for sure. But I was always under the impression that it was up in her room, in her bedroom, that she was dancing around with the dog. I guess not, right? No, the Prime tells me no. They were all, this was happening in the main room of the house, where everybody's supposed to be there, alive. And I guess that's just a normal thing that Kaylee does when she doesn't even live there. Now, she doesn't. So I guess this is a normal thing that Kaylee does when she's visiting for 2 days. Her and Murphy just dance around in the fucking living room. I guess, right, Dylan? Tell me that, Dylan. Tell me, Dylan, that's a normal thing, I guess. Yeah. Prime. Well, we know Dylan lies. However, we know this. But I need to look. This is why I keep going back to her. All the time here. There's a party in the main room. All right. What time was that? What time was that? What time was that little party that was going on? Dylan? Yeah. What time? And then I guess everybody decided to go to bed at the very same time, right? Like everybody in this case, they all seem to go to bed at the same time. They all seem to fucking wake up at the same time, don't they? Isn't that weird? I think that's weird, right? But we hear that over and over again. Yeah, we all went to bed at 11 o'clock. And then we all got up at, 12 o'clock. All of us. I guess. Yeah. Oh, we all get ready for the party at the same time. We all get ready for the party at 7 o'clock. All of us. Nobody's an individual, I guess, right? Come on.
Kaylee went upstairs and she screamed because someone's in the room.
And she screamed because somebody's in the room. But yeah, how much time has elapsed, Dylan? I don't know.
And I kept calling her name and she wouldn't answer. And then I saw the guy. I just locked the door and I ran downstairs. We don't know what's going on.
I'll tell you what. I don't know. Would you give her the Oscar? I don't know. But she's histrionic. I know that. Just by watching that. No, I cannot profile her. But that's, to me, yeah, hey, whatever. It's my speculation and opinion. She's histrionic. She's drama. She knows it. She knows she's acting. Grabbing her pants and all this fucking bullshit. This is an act. For sure, hands down to me, it's an act. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there's no doubt about that. Yeah, you guys, you know it. You guys know it.
There's two.
You fucking know it.
Scream, and she ran upstairs because she saw someone.
Again. Again and again and again. Why isn't this a real investigation? Again, she says she ran downstairs because she saw someone. How does she know it? Simple questions here. How do you know she saw somebody? Because if you know she saw somebody chasing her down the stairs, well, you're watching it happen, I guess. Right? Unless you're a fucking psychic. Dylan. And Dylan's not a psychic. Trust me, she ain't. Hey, Tyrone. Is Dylan a fucking psychic? Oh, Master Ninja, why the fuck you asking? You know what? You ask me these dumb fucking questions every day. You know that? And you say, Tyrone, go get the answer for me. Well, listen. I ain't your fucking dog. Like, what do you? I'm like one of your lap dogs. Where you just like, oh yeah, fetch me this and fetch me that. Give me this piece of information and give me this piece of Master Nature. I don't know. I think maybe what happened here was you must have ingested something that totally fucked your brain up. I think that's what happened here. I don't know when it happened, but it happened. But anyway, I'm still releasing 1907 on October. What day did you say I was releasing? October 13th. Oh, that's right. Thank you for reminding me. Jeez, it's like some inconvenience that you have to remind me of when the date I'm dropping 19. Now listen. There's going to be a limited edition of this. Okay, special vinyl edition. Okay, purple. It's going to be on purple vinyl. I mean that's kind of cool, I think. And yeah. Well. Hey, Master, shut up for a minute. Just shut up for a minute. What does the garden think about 1907 and me, Tyrone, releasing it on purple vinyl? What do you think about that? I mean, just throw something out at me here. What do you think about it, garden? Did she lock out her friends? Well, maybe, but I have a slightly different opinion of that one. No. No. 8-track. Hey, okay. Tyrone, what do you think about an 8-track? Oh, well, I'm not going to disregard it right now, but, wait a minute. Let me think about an 8-track. I haven't had one for 50 years, but let me think about it. I think, wait a minute. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, God, but I believe back in the day, there was a machine that could play 8-tracks in quadraphonic sound. I think there was a machine like that, wasn't there? I don't know. Who are you asking? Are you asking me? Who are you asking, Master Nature? I think there was an 8-track player that was made in the 70s that was actually could play 8-tracks in quadraphonic sound. I think so. And that's pretty goddamn good because quadraphonic sound, wow. I mean, there you go. Now, don't get me wrong. Now we got all this fancy Dolby Atmos and all these other formats. But I'll tell you what, quadraphonic sound was pretty good. Still good. Weird. Anyway, oh yeah, I'm sorry. We're looking at the prime. Sorry, guys. Hang on. Hang on. I could steer at her all fucking day because I know she's a liar. I know she participated in this case. I know she participated in this crime. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And I still, to this day, and hey, we're all getting there. We're going to figure it out why Moscow police went along with this and why they pretended just as much as she pretended. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah. Anyway, I want to show you this. Yes, indeed. All right. All right. Piss. Piss, and piss. Yeah. All right. Here's what I want to do. Yeah, it's only supposed to be 10 minutes. Yeah. No, but seriously, this is only supposed to be a short one. I wanted to do a much longer, more focused one like this weekend. This is not focused. But I just wanted to throw some thoughts out there, that's all. But I'm going to take like a minute here. I'm going to take a minute so we catch our breath, take a smoke, okay, whatever that is. Think about 1907. Yeah. Think about 8 tracks. That's a great point. And quadrophenia, quadraphonic sound, voices, 4 into 1, 4 things going on here at once, maybe. Oh, how about maybe, now there's not 4 rounds to this, but there are definitely 2 separate rounds. However, 4 is always the golden rule. 4 is always the golden rule here. And you're like, well, what are you talking about? 4 is the golden fucking, what do you mean? What I mean by this is there's 4 victims, first of all, and that's always the golden rule. The golden rule is always that there's 4 victims in this case, right? I'm not playing in the mud right now. Because I can play in the mud and say, well, they're not. See, we can go way off into the bad mud and say they're not dead at all, and they're in some witness protection program somewhere in fucking Alaska, right? In an underground military base where nobody will ever find them. That's the bad mud, right, guys? That's where they keep all the aliens, okay? With the 4, they're all with the aliens, see, and they're all in witness protection. Okay, no, I'm not going there. No, I mean, that's fascinating, okay? Don't get me wrong, it's interesting, but no, okay? I like reality to some level, okay? Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I find aliens fascinating. I do. I find all that stuff ghosts. That's another thing. We're going to be talking probably about that more as Halloween approaches, like ghosts, like paranormal stuff, okay? Yeah, you'll probably see a little bit more of that happening. Like rapping on the desk, okay? Stuff like that. Anyway, quick break here. Because there's something I do want to show you, and I just got to remember what it is. I got to remember it. And, yeah. So I got to have fun. Yeah, so, yeah, give me a second here, guys. Give me a quick second. Yeesh. Yeah. And of course, what I'm looking for, I cannot find. Of course. Isn't that how it goes? And then before I go, there's one thing I'm going to throw out to you guys. And it's going to sound crazy, maybe. It may not sound crazy. Yeah, but I'm going to throw it out to you because it's something I've been thinking about for a while here. Not necessarily with this case, okay? But just it's more of a general topic. That's what I'm going to say. Okay, just give me 1 second. Hope you're drinking something good or coffee, or whatever. Maybe it's how do you put it? Maybe it's Irish coffee. Maybe it's Irish coffee. Hey. And maybe I need to pay attention to the chat more. Yeah, I think I do. It is an emotional crime. It's filled with a lot of emotion, for sure. I don't understand why, again, why is this, if we're going to say this is a cover-up, okay, if we're going to say that, we have to think to ourselves, okay, why? Why would they cover this up, right? If we're going to play in this sandbox, fine. But we have to be able to answer those questions coherently, though. We have to be able to answer them coherently, right? So I can say, this is a goddamn cover-up. I believe to some degree it is, yeah, of course. Because I'm not, what I'm seeing doesn't make any sense at all. Yes, so I feel confident in saying now, not 5 months ago, but now, I feel a lot more comfortable saying there's probably a cover-up here. Now, 5 months ago, if you asked me, is this a cover-up? Yeesh, I'd be a little bit more hesitant because guess what? I wouldn't have many good coherent reasons why I think that. Now, I have more coherent reasons why I think that is true. Because the more that comes out, the more it doesn't make sense. And the more ammunition I have to say this is why this is. Of course, guys, you know this. Nothing you guys don't already know at all. But again, it goes. There's a few elements here that I feel are true, and that you guys know already as well. One thing is you cannot have a town. You cannot have a small town. Okay, what you would consider a relatively small town. All right, you cannot have a relatively small town that is controlled by one single entity. You cannot do that. Single entity. You can't. Now you can. Let me back up. It already is, okay? But it's not good though, because you have situations like this that we see. When something wicked this way comes, listen to this, okay? Ray Bradbury fans out there, you guys know. Any Ray Bradbury fans out here, right? Ray Bradbury. Something wicked this way comes, correct? Did he not write that? Yeah, he did, actually. He did. And a lot of other good books. But anyway, Ray Bradbury, something wicked this way comes. So, thinking about this relatively small town, something wicked did come. Something wicked did come to this town, right? But the problem with this whole system, though, is that this town, first of all, it's a relatively small town. That's one. Not that that's necessarily a weakness, okay? I'm not saying that's a weakness. Like, naturally a weakness, okay? However, when you have one main entity controlling this small town, yes, now you just set it up. Now you set up the potential for a whole lot of problems to come your way. A whole lot of problems, for sure. And when something wicked this way comes and disrupts that machine, that one single entity is controlling here, they're the head of the machine here. And when something comes along and disrupts that machine, well, we're going to have to compensate. We're going to have to compensate for that, aren't we? Yes, we will. Or guess what? The machine is going to break down. And we don't want the machine to break down, do we? No, we do not. So, what does this one single entity do that controls this entire thing? What are they going to do to make sure that machine doesn't break down? See? And I'll tell you what, another thing, we'll get there a little bit. Steve G, he knew that. Steve G knew that. He knew that principle, did he? Did he not? He did. Now he didn't explain it that way, but he knew that principle though. You can't have this one thing controlling this entire other thing. You can't do it. Or when something wicked this way comes, like what we see here, what happened here, yeah, then people need to compensate. And sometimes they compensate in ways that are accurate and honest. And sometimes they compensate in ways that are totally not that. They compensate in ways that are dishonest and what's another good word for it? They make mistakes. They make mistakes when they try to compensate, don't they? Because they're not being honest. There you go. That's pretty much, I think, what that is, right? So the University of Idaho. Now, listen, I've never visited there. I've never been out there, okay? But my understanding of Moscow, Idaho is this. The University of Idaho is the entity of that town. And without that entity in that town, what kind of town do you have? You virtually have no town, probably. You have a bunch of shops, and you know what I'm saying? You have whatever. You have some production, fine, whatever. But you don't have that engine driving everything else now, do you? No. That's gone. That's way, way gone. Yeah. You cannot have one benefactor controlling the entire town. We see this in movies. There are a lot of movies that reflect this principle. And what happens in those movies? Everything goes to hell, essentially, right? Whether that's vampires, whether that's ghosts, whether that's murder, whether that's some other evil thing that happens. Something wicked this way comes, right? Doesn't matter what it is. But in this case, we know what that is, right? And so what does what does the machine do? What does that engine do? They have to compensate for this. And they didn't compensate for this properly or honestly or with any degree of ethics. No, they did not. Because the money was driving the machine here. The money was fueling the machine, I should say. Of course. And so I cannot stand to lose hundreds of, if not millions of dollars from income, from people who are going to pay me to come to my school. Are you kidding me? I cannot have that. No. Now, I could have that if I had some fucking morals, but not here, okay? No. So I cannot stand to lose this type of money. And so, what I have my little police department in my town, and I know who they are, and I know what they do. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure my little police department in my little small town, I'm going to make sure they know that this needs to be fucking wrapped up by a certain time. It does. Because guess what? I am not losing any more money because of you stupid people, right? And I may even say that to them. But that's what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with this type of sociological problem. It's a sociological problem because of the way the town is structured. And the way the town is structured is problematic. And when something wicked this way comes, well, that's a breeding ground for all kinds of evil. And that's exactly what we see in this case, in my opinion. And that we can, the bloodline to this, the bloodline is the way the town is set up. And that, again, engineering, architecture, sociology, whatever field you want to draw from here, this is not a good design. Because when something happens that throws a monkey wrench into this system, and this system is small, and this system is a small town, that's a breeding ground for evil. We see this over and over again, not just in Idaho, but in many other, all states, essentially. So that's just something I wanted to throw out there to you guys in terms of the bloodline for a genesis for why something like this could happen and for why it could be covered up. And you guys know this. You already do. Again, I'm not saying hold on to your fucking hats like some other idiots. But yeah, that's the sociological point of view there. You cannot have a town like that. You cannot have a town like that. Now we do, but again, Ray Bradbury, when something wicked this way comes, what are you going to do? Are you going to do the right thing? Or are you going to do the wrong thing? Now, you say, well, of course I want to do the right thing, Master Nature. Of course I'm going to do the right thing. But what if I said to you, okay, if you did the right thing, there's going to be no more students coming to your university for the next 2 years. Are you still going to do the right thing? And your finances and your life and your livelihood and I don't know, 5,000 other people's livelihood depend on you? Are you going to say, I'm going to do the right thing here? Okay, you can say that, but guess what? You're going to have 5,000 people at your door with fucking pitchforks wanting to hang your ass. Are you going to still do the right thing? I don't know. That's the problem with a town like this. There's no good way to compensate for something like this. Well, the best way to compensate for something like this is to be honest. But again, put yourself in that situation. 5,000 people at your door, and they want to hang you. And they want to hang you because, well, they lost their business because of you. Those shops downtown in Moscow, I lost my fucking business because of you. And now I'm at your doorstep. And what are you going to do about it? You know what I'm saying, guys? You guys know this. But that's how it flows. That's how it goes. That's how it goes here when we deal with towns like this. Again, what is the main point? The main point is you should not have a town that is driven by one single entity. You should not. Ever. Evil springs from that like water from a fucking well. That's what it does. So, that's what it does. And that we see that in every state. Every state, in the United States at least, we see that. You and I could point to probably at least one case in every state where that holds true. At least one case, if not multiple cases, where this principle holds true. Absolutely. In fact, maybe we'll do that sometime, right? Any state you could pick, and you will see the same principle operating over and over again. When something bad happens in the town like that, we overcompensate. We could overcompensate, but we compensate badly. And that means we need to cover things up. Yeah. And that is what this case is, unfortunately, I feel. Now, Brian Kohlberger is still an interesting character, though, here. You got to keep him in mind here. He's the guy. He's the chosen one. So you still got to keep him. You got to keep him in your mirror, though, because you can't lose sight of him. Well, he's also one of the main objects here in the case. The roommates to me have more significance because I feel they're the people who actually were a part of the crime. But you can't forget the lone wolf, for sure. I mean, I can't. No, of course not. Of course not. Well, he's the person in jail, right? Yeah. Anyway, taking a quick one, and I should wrap it up. This was only supposed to be 10 minutes. I'm sorry. But think about drinking some dandelion wine. Well, a dandelion wine is actually not that bad. It's pretty good if it's made right. So just think about drinking some dandelion wine. All right, loves? That's all I'm asking. I'm not asking for any money. I'm just thinking about drinking some dandelion wine. Really, really, really. Yeah. Yep, that's it. And in fact, that's probably what I should call this live. Dandelion wine. Yeah. Ray Bradbury shit, you know? And then we burned some fucking books. Oi, oi, oi. Hey. Oi, oi, oi. Hey, listen. Yeah, you think it's funny, don't you, you fucking asshole? What's the garden doing? Why ain't they talking? What are they doing? I leave my garden. Well, yeah, he's a prick. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why you listen to this guy. He leaves his garden all the time alone in the dark. And you know, you still like this guy? Look, you gotta follow me. You understand? Stanley, I don't know what you're doing here with this guy. You know, that's why I need to go solo here. And I don't know. I saw the fucking pole. I saw not the pole, the pole. And it disappointed me very much. I thought my garden loved me, but I guess not. Well, guess what? If my garden doesn't love me, well, guess what? I'm gonna have to find my garden, and then I'm gonna have to teach him a lesson. Oh dear, Stanley, come on. I'm back. All right, I'm back. I didn't leave him in the dark too long. Master Nature, you. Jeez. You know. You're gonna wake up one of these days, and guess what? You're gonna be dangling from your roof, and you're gonna wonder to yourself, how the fuck did I get up here? That would be me. Nope, that ain't it. I don't think so. I do not think so. Do not think so. All right, guys. We're gonna play Name That Tune. No, you're gonna give me a song, and then one more thing before we go, all right? So give me a song. Oh, of course I love you guys. You guys are the best garden in the world. Of course. I mean, again, what is the point of having a garden, right? What is the point of it? Because, again, I might as well stare into the mirror and talk to myself, and guess what? Guess what I learned by doing that? I don't learn anything. Nothing at all. So, yeah. I just suck at reading the chat. Just keep that in mind. I suck at paying attention to the chat. David. Oh, David. You and I could probably, we could have a whole, everybody else too. We could have a whole live in discussing the Dark Tower. Oh my God. Oh my God, we could have a live that would go on for like probably 12 hours talking about the Dark Tower. Holy crap! Thank you, thank you for reminding me of that. Yeah, the Dark Tower. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Now, don't get me started because I get a little critical of the Dark Tower, especially after book 4. Okay, but anyway, that's not what we're talking about. Yeah, all right. Yeah. Wizards and Glass, baby. Wizards and Glass. Oh, yeah. Now, however, my favorite book in that series, listen to this, guys. My favorite book in that series, it's a toss-up. It's a toss-up. Some days, if you ask me on some days, it would be The Drawing of the Three. On some days, it would be The Wastelands. So it depends what day you catch me on. Those are my absolute 2 favorites in the series. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. All right, what am I looking at? Yeah. Yeah. Wizards and Glass. Good one. Now, I'll tell you what, David. The first time I read Wizards and Glass, I was a little disappointed because I felt Wastelands was superior. But then I went back and I read it a few more times, and I'm like, you know what? The more I read Wizards and Glass, the more I'm like, this is. I'll tell you what. Maybe it's not as maybe it is on the same level. You know, it's just a different level, more emotional level. A little bit of more emotions in that one when it comes to him and his girl. Well, him and his wife. I should have wife, you know, and she was pregnant and all this, and she got burned at the stake. Yeah, so that one has a little bit more emotion in it for the gunslinger, and we learned a little bit more about his life, you know, and what made him what made him the way he is. So it's not quite as bad as the first time. I was a little disappointed here, but nope, good, very, very good. All right, hang on, but I'm getting sidetracked. So anyway, sorry guys. Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh, The Dark Tower is probably my favorite works of him. I have a few other favorite works of him that I really, really like, for sure. I like. Well, one of the cool things about Stephen King is he puts his characters in other books, so that's an interesting aspect of him, you know. So if you read a lot of his books, some of his characters turn up in some of his other works. I find that he turns up in his own work. Anyway. We're playing, you pick the song right now, I play some of it, and then I'm going to move on to the last kind of thing I wanted to throw out to you guys. So just pick a song, but listen, some songs you're going to throw out to me, I'm going to be like, pick something else. So I may do that to you. Just pick a song. Now remember, I'm going to have to cut this out probably, but don't worry about it. We're live, and that's the point of doing this, right? It doesn't matter what happens tomorrow. This is live now. So pick a song. I did that one already. Great choice, Weird Doe, but I did that one already. I don't like John Cougar, so I can't pick that one. I'm sorry, John Mellencamp. I'm sorry, John Mellencamp. I'd be curious to know where that is in the Poconos. I wonder if he lives close to Brian's parents. Probably not. Nah, I would say no on that one. No. See, okay. Great songs, but I'm like a retro kind of person. I could let Tyrone pick the song. I could let Stanley pick the song. Could let Stanley, or I can let MD pick the song. I mean, that would be interesting. I'm not quite sure what MD would pick. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't think we should do that. Okay, here's what. Okay, great song choices, guys. Okay, but maybe I'm a prick a little bit. I'm kind of in the mood for something. So you're like, well, why don't you just fucking pick it, asshole? Yeah, that's a really good idea. Why don't you just pick it, asshole? Master Nature, you every day I have to fucking be with you, you get more and more fucking pathetic. Do you know that? Like, at this point, I'd rather go back to the fucking master I had who lived in that fucking bog with all the mosquitoes and the cicadas and the fucking shit that I had to fucking deal with buzzing around his head, okay? He lived in a fucking cabin by a fucking bog, all right? And every day, you know what this asshole would fucking ask me? Now remember, I'm his spirit guy, right? So he asked me questions all fucking day. And he asked me like, gee, do you think I should go fishing? He'd ask me fucking shit like that, you know? Like, well, go fucking fishing if you want to go fucking... Or he'd ask me like this. Tyrone, he would say, Tyrone, do you think it's my lucky day here? Do you think I'll catch something in the bog? And I'd be like, can I have a drink of fucking burgundy? I mean, really. I mean, think about it. Think about being a spirit fucking guide, and you are fucking stuck to somebody who asks you if it's his fucking lucky day to go fishing. I mean, and no. And keep in mind, he asks you that every day for 10 fucking years. Do you think you fucking go crazy? By the time our time was ended with him, he felt, now listen to this, listen, Lilies. I did not push him in the fucking bog. I did not push him in the bog. But, well, you know what? Well, no, I did not push him in the bog, okay? Now, don't you fucking think I did, okay? But, I have to say this. There's one thing I gotta say about this. All right, listen. When he was sitting there on his fucking stump, by his fucking bog that he would bug me about every day for the fucking 10 years that I was with him and going fishing and shit. Well, of course I was with him. He was sitting on his fucking log, okay? He played his fucking, I don't know what it was. It was a fucking harmonica, I think. A fucking harmonica he pulls out. So he's playing he can't play the fucking harmonica. You understand? So he's like tooting on it. Tooting on a fucking harmonica, and I'm getting really impatient. Well, you know me. Well, I don't think I get that impatient, but anyway. So I'm listening to this, and like all of a sudden he clutches his fucking chest. The mosquitoes are like, they must sense this because the mosquitoes, they make a beeline over for him, and so like the minute he clutches his fucking chest, all the mosquitoes in the bog, they come fucking flying over to him, okay? Like it's fucking feeding it. Oh, we're gonna get fed. Well, they ain't half wrong, okay? But so he starts to fall. He starts to fucking fall off this fucking log that he's sitting on, okay? Yeah, like real fucking delivering shit. Anyway, excuse me. I don't know what that means. But anyway, excuse me. Anyway, yeah. But then, like, all of a sudden, like, I felt like the surge of energy, okay? And then I heard this voice in my head. And I'm like, well, who's this fucking voice? Like, I thought I was, like, going crazy, but I'm a fucking spirit guide, so that ain't possible, right? But I thought I was going fucking crazy. Listen. I thought I was going fucking nuts. Yeah. I'm like, why is the chat upside down? Okay. No, but listen. So like, I felt this surge of energy, all right? And then I heard this voice. And this voice said to me, it's okay, you can push him in. And I'm like, well, whose voice is that? I never heard that voice before. But I heard it again. It went like this. It's all right, you can push him into the fucking bog. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. And I'm like, No, I can't do that. I can't push him in a fucking bog. Well, there ain't nobody around here, and well, I'm a spirit, so nobody gonna see me. And then I heard the voice again that said, "Yeah, that's right, you stupid prick. That's why you push him in the bog." And you know what? You know what I found out later? That was fucking Stanley the whole fucking time. Whole time talking in my ear. And I didn't know it. I didn't know at the time until I met him up here, and I found out he became Master Nature's fucking spirit guide too. And I'm like, oh, you got to be fucking kidding me. The spirit that was encouraging me to kill my fucking master. Well, he's this guy's fucking spirit guide too. I mean, think about that. Anyway, we get along now, But I'm just saying that was back in the day. And I did not push him in the ball. I don't think I pushed him in the bog. Okay. I think you pushed him in the bog, there. Tyrone, you pushed him in the fucking bog. I was right there, you fucking idiot. All right. Jesus. Well, there's some history I didn't know about. Thanks, guys. That's some history I was not aware of. Hey, Tyrone, maybe that's why you don't win at bingo. Do you think that could be the reason why? Because you pushed your former spirit master into the fucking bog? Do you think maybe that's why the smiley harp doesn't let you win at bingo? Masternature, no, I don't think that's the reason. Because I didn't push him in the fucking bog. God, why do you keep fucking... Man, you don't fucking believe me either. You fucking don't believe me either, do you? You fucking don't believe me. I can't believe it. I fucking can't believe you. My own fucking spirit master don't believe me. I didn't murder my former spirit master. Good grief. Okay. All right, guys. Here. What is it? What is the sound? What is the song? What is it? What am I looking for? Too obvious. Too obvious. Great choice, Indy. Too obvious. Okay. All right. Nope. Not that one. Nope. Not that one. I'm trying. Sweet pea, I am trying. God darn. Okay, how about a choice? I'll give you a choice. And I'll pick the song. Okay? 4 bands. 4 retro bands. Okay, so The Who, that's one choice. Led Zeppelin, that's another choice. The Grateful Dead, or Black Sabbath. How about that? Well, we got to throw Sabbath in there. 4 easy ones. 4 easy ones. Just pick the band, and I'll pick a song from one of those bands. How's that? Whatever it is. Just pick the band. Zeppelin. Okay. All right. Zeppelin. Okay, Zeppelin. All right, Zeppelin, here it is. Let's see what we're going to do with Zeppelin. Okay, here's another question then. If we're going to go with... Oh, we got Black Sabbath. More Sabbath. Oof. Okay, how about this? Next time we're going to do Sabbath. But for Zeppelin, how about for Zeppelin? Do you want a kind of obvious song from Zeppelin? Do you want like a mid-tier kind of song from Zeppelin, like something you don't normally hear? Or do you want to hear like a real deep cut from Zeppelin? Which layer do you want? Pick it. Pick it. Pick it. Do you want something that you typically would hear on the radio from Zeppelin? Do you want something that you probably wouldn't hear on the radio from Zeppelin? Or do you want to hear something that you would never hear on the radio from Zeppelin? Ever. Mid-tier. Okay, do you want something... Okay. Do you want something that is, like, kind of more angry? Something that's kind of more like Stairway to Heaven-ish, kind of like Hobbit stuff? Or do you want something that's, like, more like, has more instrumental to it? Bootleg. Okay, thank you. I got one. I got a song just for that. Okay, thank you. That's it. That's all I needed. But well, okay. Maybe I'll do a few things. I really have to wrap this up, guys. This is only supposed to be 10 fucking minutes. But hey, that's what happens. Gotta pick the right one though. Now, this is called A Couple Things, and I probably... Yeah. All right. All right. I'll do this one. I think I did this one before. This is not quite as long as the version that I like, though. All right, here we go, guys. Here we go. All right. And Nevada's all right. Hang on. Ads? Is it going to be ad? Hang on, ad. There we go. Oh, shit. What happened to the screen? Yeah, now. Yeah. There you go. Minnesota Blues, baby. Minnesota Blues. All right. One last thing before we go, all right? Sometimes, hang on. Normally, I'd cut it off right there. But, I'm going to throw this out to you real quick, and then we're going to go, all right? This is going to sound a little weird. I'm going to make it brief. We'll talk about a leader. And I don't know when this started. So, you're going to say, well, when did this start? I'm not quite sure here. It's definitely been going on. Now, guys are going to think I'm absolutely insane. Maybe not. But, what year is it? It's 2025, right? 2025, okay. Now, I don't know if you guys like Philip Dick or not. Do you like, guys, anybody out there like Philip Dick? Philip K. Dick? Anybody? No, it doesn't mean you have to be devoted to the guy. Just anybody into Philip Dick at all. Philip K. Dick. Just throw it out there. Yes or no? Okay. Never read him? Okay, cool. Anybody has read Philip K. Dick? I like this one too. Yeah. Yep. All right. Hey, welcome True Killer and Ellie and guys, I missed everybody. Weird Rough, Curious Rose, of course. Thank you for being here. Everybody, Indy Cindy, thank you for being here. Pretty sweepy. Oh my God. Thank you. Who else? I missed everybody. Of course I miss people. I'm not good at it. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Okay. 2 androids. Dude, yeah. Well, okay. Oh, sorry. I read that wrong. I'm sorry. I read it wrong. Okay. I read that wrong. I thought it said do Arnold. I'm like, wait, can I do an impression of Arnold Schwarzenegger? I'm not sure. No, yeah, Electric Sheep, yeah, Blade Runner, yeah, of course, Blade Runner, yeah, yeah. Probably one of his most famous books. That with Man in the High Castle, and Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. That's 2 of his probably most popular works. Just yes, of course. Now, do you guys know that he wrote part of a sequel to that book? Just throwing it out there. Did you guys know that he wrote 2 chapters to? I'm not sorry, not to Android, but to The Man in the High Castle. Do you guys know that? And they're pretty good actually. He wrote 2 chapters for the sequel to that book, and they're pretty good actually. Not bad at all. But he stopped working on it. Yeah, I was watching this documentary, I think, the other day, and I'm like, there's some things I knew about him, and some things I didn't know about him. But maybe I forgot about this detail. But the FBI raided his entire fucking office and home. Well, I think it was his office. The FBI raided his office, and they stole a bunch of fucking papers that he had. Yeah, and that's true. That is not a lie. It's not a fucking speculation. I was watching this fucking documentary. I'm like, did I know that? Or maybe I didn't know that. But yeah, fuck yeah, man. Philip Dick, man, they raided his ass. They raided his fucking office because Philip K. Dick, yeah, he was all about reality, baby. All about reality. And I don't know why the fuck the FBI is raiding his fucking shit, but they did. They raided his office. They tore it up. They took... He had, I imagine he had notebooks and notebooks of things that he kept. And I'll tell you what, they fucking came and they took him. Philip K. Dick. And you wouldn't think about that. You know, he's just a fucking science fiction writer. But they fucking raided him back in the day. I think it was in 1974 they fucking raided him. Yeah. They took all kinds of shit from him. They didn't put him in jail. They didn't like arrest him, right? But they took his fucking work. Think about that. Anyway, I don't know. How the fuck did we get on Phil K. Dick? I have no idea. Oh, yeah, now I know. Okay. Anyway, the reason why I asked, okay, so 2025, right? 2025, that's where we are. But sometime, and I don't want it to happen, okay, this is going to sound bizarre to you guys, right? And it's not what Philip K. Dick, I'm not talking about Philip K. Dick's theories here, okay? But I'm borrowing a little bit from that because going backwards in time, okay? No, that's not it. It's more emotion. That's it. It's more emotion. Okay, listen. So 2025, that's where we are, supposedly, right now. 2025, right? Right. But somewhere, something happened here, okay? Now, this is going to be a feeling. This is not an event. It's a feeling. And I don't know how long ago this happened, okay? For me, the perception of this thing happening, and I'm still trying to kind of pin it down, all right? And I gotta refer to my age too for this. I'm not gonna tell you that, but in my head, I gotta refer to my age. Okay. So, yeah. So this thing that I'm thinking about, okay, in my perception, started, 12 to 15 years ago. I'm going to say that. It's beyond 10 years, I feel. Yeah. So that would put us at 2015, right? 2015. And I'm like, okay, what did 2015 feel like? I don't know. That's a little fuzzy. Not just because of the burgundy, but just, just in general. But no. I think this happened a little bit later. Or I'm sorry, a little bit before that. So there is this thing that I call, and other people probably call it this. Well, I'm not sure. Anybody who's thought about this, I'm sure you have in some ways. Okay, this is not a new concept by any stretch. Okay? But there is this veil of I don't know what to call it. Veil of illusion. That's what we're going to call it. The veil of illusion. That's not necessarily accurate because this is more dark than that. An illusion doesn't have to be dark. Okay, it can be fun. Okay, it's not quite like that. It's like a veil of, and it's not pure darkness. So I can't say a veil of darkness because that's not accurate either. There's still some light. Okay, but it is dark though. But it's more like a veil of what's the word? Confusion. It's more like a confusion or like a veil of mistrust. Something like that. It's like a veil of those things together. It's dark, and there is darkness within it. Hey, for sure. And there's also a blinding sort of thing there's a blinding here. And I feel I put it in terms of a veil. It's a veil or a shroud. A shroud, okay? Somewhere along the line here, in the not so recent past, this fucking thing has descended upon everybody. For sure. And I know that sounds crazy. And I know that sounds bizarre. But somewhere here in the recent past, there has been this veil of here's how to explain it. Like this case, in a certain way, but not really. It's kind of like we all can see what is real and true, but then what happens in reality is the opposite. That's what it's like. And that's like that keeps happening more and more and more as we go along here in time. That has been building up, and we're seeing it more and more and more. That situation, okay? Now, this sounds bizarre, but this has been going on now since the recent past, okay? It's action, okay? But it's also a veil. And I'm thinking of this in terms of, and this is going to sound crazy, guys, I'm thinking of this in terms of forces. Forces, okay? Forces. Yes. Now, I am not ascribing religion onto this necessarily. However, you could easily do that if you want to. Okay? But there is a veil of that has descended upon our consciousness universally. And the more as time goes on, the more you're going to see that. And the more that's going to happen. Just kind of like what we see in this case in a way. Right? In certain ways. Not completely yet because we don't know everything. All right? But how about this? What we suspect to know. So, but anyway. But not just that. Just things that we know should be true. Right? Right? Just true. Or orderly. Right? Or all of that. We are getting more and more of the opposite of that. And we are. For real. And that's like a veil of darkness. Yes, there's darkness in that. And you can easily connect that to religion or spirituality in some fashion. You can easily do that. For sure. And you wouldn't be wrong in your own thinking about that. You wouldn't be wrong either. You wouldn't, and none of you would be wrong in that. So it's like, it's a veil, and something has descended upon us for sure. And we're seeing it playing out more and more and more as time goes on. And that it's coming out in very different ways here. It's coming out in politics. Politics are very volatile, and they have only grown more volatile as time has gone on now. Okay, really volatile now. Not just who the president is. I'm not talking about that. I am just talking about the sequence of what we're seeing. It doesn't really matter who the president is. And seriously, this is what I'm talking about. Because that veil is universal. And that veil is upon us. And it's been upon us for a long time here. And this veil, what this veil likes to do, this veil likes to divide people. This veil likes to inject more hate and ignorance into our reality. And we're seeing that play out in, well, cases in this in crime. We're seeing that play out in our day-to-day interactions with people. We're seeing that in our own reflection on what we're doing in our life. We're seeing that in pretty much every facet of reality if it has some tangibility to it. All of reality is now is infected by whatever this thing is. Every tangible facet of reality that you experience and that I experience, it has been infected by that. It truly has. And we see it on a larger scale, okay? And that's only going to get bigger. But we also see it on the microscopic scale, too. Just in our day-to-day, what are we doing? What am I doing? Why is the asshole at the gas station? Why is he giving me a hard time about shit? Why do I want to rip his face off? Why do I want to rip this guy's face off? You know what I mean? Or whatever. Now keep in mind, there's still light in this because we still can look. Now, this is crazy, I know, but we still experience happiness and joy and pleasure, and we experience all that good stuff. Yeah, we do. But that veil, however, and guys, I'm not trying to be fatalistic with anything here, but there is some force that has descended upon us, and that has been going on for at least, well, I'm going to say recent past, okay? And it is building and building and building. Building and building and building here. But, however, the good news is there's still light that we can play with here, though. There's still light. And because there's still light, we can play with the light, and we can play with that light in many different ways. And we can make that light the way we want it. And guess what we can do with light? What we can do with light, we can destroy anything with light. Keep that in mind when it comes to this veil of whatever this fucking thing is. That light, you get white light, white fucking heat, and you can burn through anything. And so in honor of white light, white heat, we are going to play this, and I love you guys. I want you to think about this. I know it's bizarre and insane and crazy maybe, but you guys have been thinking maybe the same way in certain fashion, right? So, anyway, in honor of white light, white heat, because white light can burn through anything, baby. Oh, yes, it can. It certainly can, including whatever this fucking thing is going on, that's been going on. Yeah. I mean, sometimes we do have to rip a person's face off in the grocery, Yeah, maybe you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. But here's the plain and simple of it. Evil, or I should put it this way. Something wicked has come. Something wicked this way has come to us. It's been with us for I'm going to say 30 years at least. It has descended upon this place. So something wicked has come. I don't know what it is quite yet. I don't know how to kind of name it, but it is here for sure. Absolutely. And I've been thinking about this for a really long time. What is this thing that has descended upon us? The earth? I don't know. I would probably say the earth. Yeah, for sure. Nah, that's crazy, but
Hey, I'm Carlos, and a little thing I love.
that's what I'm feeling here, guys. And yeah, I never lied about being a psychic. Did I ever lie to you guys about being a psychic? No, I didn't. Just saying, think about that. I may have been joking about it, but I never denied it, though, either, did I? No. But anyway, I love you guys, so we're going to finish with this. And you know what, Tyrone? This is my tribute to you, okay? Because I know you're so hyped up for 1907. This is my tribute to you. And so here we go, my loves and lords and lads and dudes. So we're going to finish with this, and we're going to get some good sleep, beautiful dreams, because you know what? At this point, we're going to start finding ourselves not knowing what the difference is. I'm telling you. And that sounds crazy, but anyway. All right, Master. How about this? Shut the fuck up. Play your tribute song to me so I can get ready for the fucking press conference that's coming up in 2 days, you know, up here, where they're going to fluff my fucking hair, okay? And guess what they're going to do? If I'm able to release 1907 on the 13th, you know what they're going to do for me? They're going to give me a fucking suit, the suit that I tried to fucking buy the other day, but they gave me fucking cashew. They gave me a fucking pistachio. So, yeah, get on with the fucking tribute song, Master Nature. Yeah, you fucking... lovely, isn't it, guys? Oh, I played this before. Wait a minute, I can't do it again. Nah. No, not this. I did this before. So I'm tricking you. I'm going to trick you. I'm going to trick you. Because I already did that. Tricky. All right. Man, see, I even forget. I already did that to you guys. Did that one to you guys? Did this one to you guys? Man, I did a lot of this stuff to you guys. Fuck. Oh my god. Okay. This should work. Now you wanted a mid-tier song. That was the original request. Mid-tier song. So yeah, Traveling Riverside Blues, that's a mid-tier song. But then I heard bootleg too. So I'm like, yeah, interesting. All right. Bootleg, mid-cut. Oh my god. All right. No, that's a little too sad. The one I'm thinking of is a little too sad. Okay. All right. Yeah. Starship. Fucking Starship. Imagine having a fucking Starship. Oh my god. Where are you? Yes, I know now, but I can't find you. Where are you? Fuck, where are you? Oh my god. Okay, the song I'm looking for, it's not on here. Okay. Nah, you guys are gonna like this one. You guys know this. And yes, I'm gonna have to cut it. Alright, here we go. Yeah. Fuck sad. Now, I don't know why this is so big. I can't even fucking see the screen.
Mount Jaro.
And, I can't even... Mount Jaro. Fuck off. I don't know. And here's another one. Who was it? Rainbow Kitten. Well, that's nice. All right, loves. I gotta go, loves. I love you all, babies. Love you all, babies.